How's it going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of my F1 2017 career mode as Charles Leclerc, and we're here at the Bahrain Grand Prix for part number 3 of the career mode. If you missed the previous 2 episodes, there will be a link of the playlist for the career mode in the description down below. But yeah, we start this third episode of Bahrain by having a look at the performance charts for chassis, aero and engine. We don't have enough points to do an upgrade right now, we're just having a look to see where we stand in terms of, chassis, aero and engine. And I'm planning to do something at the end of the episode if I do get enough resource points, but we will see about that after practice, quali and the race. Speaking of practice, we'll jump on practice right after you see the engine column. We are using column 5. We got it at the Australian Grand Prix. As you may remember if you watched the episode, if you haven't, link in the description. We got that engine for free after starting last at the first Grand Prix of the season, and that's basically good for us because we got a free engine right now. So yeah, as I said, we jump straight into practice. You can see some of the practice programs we do, the track acclimatization we did with purple score, the qualifying program we did with green, and the fuel saving program we did with purple score. So we're looking pretty comfortable, I'll say, for qualifying. And speaking of qualifying, let's now jump over to the actual qualifying for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Cars are ready, the drivers are ready. We hope you're ready as qualifying is about to begin here in Bahrain. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximizing top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on into the corners and max out down the straights?
Top speed is a key factor for this circuit. Even if you can achieve the same lap time as someone running less wing than you, chances are you'll find overtaking difficult if you have too much drag.
So, as you can see now, we're in the garage and waiting to go out for Q1 in qualifying at the Bahrain Grand Prix. We dropped the wings a bit just to have a better straight line speed. The Sauber was feeling pretty balanced actually. I was pretty surprised by the balance I had on the car in practice and qualifying. I mean, it wasn't quick, it's a Sauber, I mean, what do you expect? But the balance of the car itself wasn't that bad as it was or in Australia or China, so it was definitely a big step forward. And even though you don't really see that right now after losing the back end a bit, but it is a step forward. And you're gonna see now that you see Valtteri Bottas heading the fastest lap. We're not gonna be anywhere close to Valtteri Bottas' fastest lap, but we are gonna set, I do hope, a reasonable lap time. I mean, I'm not gonna be surprised if I'm still finishing P20 at the end of the qualifying session, but we beat Vettel. Even though he probably hasn't set a competitive lap time yet. But as you can see, we are already 5 tenths up on our next lap in Q1, beating our previous time, and I hope I can at least get in front of my teammate Pascal Wehrlein, as we are, what's that? I can't really see on my previous screen, but is that a 6-10 gap? I'm not sure. I think we're 7 tenths up now, coming to the end of the lap, as Lewis Hamilton got past us there just before the end of the lap. We do a bit of a switchback move here, tried to overtake him basically, but we couldn't. We're gonna use him as a slipstream though, open the DRS, and that is a I can't really see what the lap time is on my previous screen, but we are still in P10 behind our teammate Pascal Wehrlein. As the session as the session closes to an end, we're still in P20. We improve once again, but that just wasn't enough, and we still qualify last in P20. What's that, about 3 tenths of our teammate? I think that is not too bad considering our previous 2 qualifying sessions, but still it is not good enough. But I'm sure that if we can have a good start, we can then have also a good race, and hopefully we can battle for points. Let's jump to the race. So we're on the grid for the Bahrain Grand Prix. We're gonna play a little bit with the strategy here. I'm probably gonna start on the super soft because I want to be aggressive on the start, and we want to be passing cars in the first, especially in the first few corners. Like the first braking zone is the first braking zone in turn 1 is gonna be a big opportunity for us to gain places, and from then on I'm not really sure if I'm gonna try and maybe stretch out 2 soft stints or just pit earlier a little bit from the first soft stint and go on mediums for the last stint. I will decide on the go. And yeah, that's gonna be it. And of course a little bit more fuel, so we were able to use rich mix. So yeah, All 5 red lights are on. And the race is underway. We immediately pass our teammate Pascal Wehrlein up into P19. And as I said, turn 1 is going to be a very good opportunity to make up places. We brake very late. We make contact with Vettel. We broke our front wing there, but we are in P10. Ocon and Vettel are battling ahead of us. We battle with Ocon. We're gonna get a slipstream of Sebastian Vettel. We're gonna go down the inside of turn 4, I think it is. We're gonna go down the inside of Hülkenberg as well, up into P7 after only 1 sector of the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is a phenomenal start from us, but we broke our front wing, so it is gonna be very difficult for us to manage to stay in P7. And as you can see, Vettel immediately already passed us at the end of lap 1. We are back down into P8. We're gonna get a slipstream of Vettel though, rich mixture for good measure. We're gonna go down the inside of Sebastian Vettel into turn 1. Very late braking, lock up on the front tires, but we make the move done. Back up into P7, go a bit wide on the curb. Vettel's gonna get a good run on us. Into turn 4, we're gonna block the inside line. Vettel's gonna try and go around the outside. We brake later, go onto the curb, block up the front once again, but we managed to squeeze Vettel and we are back up into P7. As we said, a purple first sector, but this is the second lap, so it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, yeah, as Sebastian Vettel is once again right on our tail. At the end of lap 2, he gets a better exit out of the last corner, and this time we get very worse exit compared to him, and we're in a Force India sandwich. Vettel's officially got past us. I mean, there's no way we're gonna get him back. In the Force India sandwich, we're gonna try and go down the inside. Oh, we even maybe might get Vettel. No, we won't. We lose the back end. We cut the corner a little bit. That's why I slowed down and give Vettel the position back. And now Perez is right on our tail. Is he gonna make a move down the inside of us? We brake later. We close the door down the inside and we stay in P8 for now, but Vettel passed us and we're now down position, and we're now 1 position down as Ocon passes us as well, back down into P9, but we're gonna get DRS and slipstream for good measure of him. Massa's right behind us though. He's gonna get a slipstream and DRS from us. Is he gonna go down the inside of us? No, we brake later. We go down the inside of Esteban Ocon, and back up into P8 is Charles Leclerc on lap 5 of this Brazilian Bahrain Grand Prix, as we now purposely slow down to let Ocon through, so we get the slipstream of him on the start finish line, which is a tactic I've been using a lot in this race. You'll see a bit later in this video, but yeah, as you can see, people are going into the pit lane. I think we are in P6 right now after we passed Ocon once again down the inside into turn 1. So yeah, P6, not too bad in that Sauber after 6 laps. P6, good. As now we are coming to close the lap 6, and Esteban Ocon behind us. There's a car going to the pit lane. I think that was Massa, not really sure. My previous screen is a bit too little. As Esteban Ocon, I'm sure that is Esteban Ocon, is going around the right side. Roman Grosjean was on our inside. We brake late, we lock up the front tires, but we still managed to stay in P3 now as more cars have made their pit stops. We're in P3. Esteban Ocon though is gonna try and snatch that P3 from us. He's gonna go down the inside of us into turn 4. We brake later, we run a bit wide so we get better traction, and this is actually Kevin Magnussen, not Esteban Ocon. Magnussen has managed to go down the inside of Ocon, looks like, into turn 4, and he is now in P4 right behind us in P3, as a lot of people have made their pit stops, and now it's time for us at the end of lap 7 to make our first pit stop of this race. And unfortunately the game won't change the front wing, because it's set, the front wing damage is set to auto, and it won't change because it's not that serious of a damage. So yeah, our team does our pit crew does a good job on the pit stop. It's what I can't really tell what this is, but we are sent back onto the track in P17 ahead of the Force India, the pink Force India of Esteban Ocon, as we immediately just go out of the pits and lock up the tire. I mean, that's what I do. But yeah, this is now lap 10. Esteban Ocon, we let Esteban Ocon through just to get DRS of him on the start finish line. We get a bit better exit even than him, But look at that, with this Mercedes engine, even me with DRS, I can't outdrag the Mercedes engine. As you can see, this is a Renault and the other Force India coming behind us, as there was a McLaren coming out of the pit lane as we go back up into P11 after going down the side of Esteban Ocon. And with people still having to make their pit stops, and me thinking that I think that I'm probably doing one less stop than some of them, because I think that some of the people in front were free stopping. So I was, at this point in the race, I was still really hopeful of getting points at the end of the Grand Prix, and I was still, you know, still thinking that it was possible to get points. So I was battling my hardest against Esteban Ocon, and this was Sergio Perez that got spun. I didn't really expect him to stick it around the outside into turn 3. So I mean, as I said, I didn't really expect to see him there. So he spun off our rear tire, and this caused the virtual safety car, which was, you know, at first I thought that might be a saving grace because I saw a safety car show up, but it was virtual safety car. As we now once again go back racing into lap number 13, we go down the inside of Esteban Ocon once again into P9, as we're once again into the point paying position. And this is lap 13. We fake going to the pits just to break a bit of the slipstream. Ocon is behind us, the two Renaults are behind us, they are getting pretty punchy as well, and Ocon is trying to pass us. We brake late, lock up the front tires. Ocon is getting passed by Palmer and Hülkenberg. Palmer and Ocon are battling quite a bit behind. They're side by side into turn 3, onto the straight down to turn 4, and Ocon, I think, is just about gonna edge Palmer and stay into P10 right behind us on this lap 14. As we cut on late to lap 14, and the car in front of us, Magnussen, has some issues, and as you can probably see on the minimap, there are some yellow flags. Yes, there are some yellow flags onto the minimap, as you can see. I guess Magnussen had a puncture or a front wing failure, I'm not really sure. So he pulls into the pit lane, as we are once again letting Esteban Ocon get in front of us for the DRS detection point. So we get a DRS on the start finish line as Magnussen is in the pit lane, and that promotes us up into P8, which is a pretty good position once again, considering we have to stop once again. But there are also people who I believe have to stop once again, so I still think points are possible in this race. It's lap 15. We're in P8 as it's Esteban Ocon going into the pit lane, so he's undercutting us, so he's pretty certain to overtake us with that undercut. I mean, undercut around Bahrain is pretty powerful, and at the same time he's in the Force India. Not having me and my dirty air ahead of him is really gonna help him to get ahead of me, as we now battle Romain Grosjean. We close the door on the inside. Grosjean's gonna try and stick around the outside. We squeeze him, and we are still in P8 as we now cut on later on to lap 16, and we're gonna go into the pit lane. We're gonna do I did my best in this lap to potentially prevent Ocon from doing the undercut, but I was pretty sure that he was gonna gain around 3 seconds on this lap alone, because first of all, he was in a much faster car than me, and second, he didn't have dirty air. I mean, I was slowing him down this whole race for sure, I mean, with dirty air and stuff like that, but still, I was sure that he was gonna pass me. And yes, you can see Esteban Ocon on the medium compound tire ahead of us, already into turn 1 as we go out of the pit lane into P17. And that's really basically the point where my race kind of died, because, you know, nobody else really just stopped. And after all the pit stops were made, we were in P13 as we now go into P12 after Vettel has some problems and went into the pit lane. I think he eventually ended up retiring from the race, as Valtteri Bottas is that lapping us. So yeah, we benefit from Vettel's problems, and we are up into P12, but, you know, nothing really else happens. Grosjean is behind us. We're just gonna try and defend for our pride, really. I mean, we tried to impress Haas and Ferrari, so if we battle with Haas, I guess we could impress the Haas team and maybe get a few more reputation from them. So when we potentially get the contract offer in Silverstone, we have a contract offer from them. But yeah, once again we continue to battle with Romain Grosjean through the last few corners of the race. Kimi Raikkonen won the race, as you can see. We're gonna come home in P12 as Hülkenberg over to Grosjean, But yeah, pretty disappointing P12. I thought we were on it for the points, but not this time I guess. But I'm sure I'm feeling it. Car was pretty good, so I'm sure we're gonna get points soon.
Ferrari to take the victory today. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
So, here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
From my point of view, it would have to be the Sauber driver. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. Another team that excelled today was Williams, who make further progress up the table. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
Well, I guess that's a bit of a consolation, receiving the Driver of the Day award from Anthony Davidson himself. But yeah, that has been for this race, guys. P12, I really thought that we were on for a points paying position, but it just wasn't to be in this race. I really hope that, I am sure that in the next races we're gonna finally get points, because the car is actually feeling well. It wasn't as bad as it was the previous two races, and it's just the overall pace that we're lacking, but I'm sure that we can make it up. Charles Leclerc can make this up. If anyone can do it, it's him. As you can see now, we have 940 resource points, as we still lose our rivalry to Pascal Wehrlein, even though we gained a point during the race, and the reputation level isn't looking that great, but isn't looking too bad either. You can see maybe that's McLaren, Toro Rosso, and Renault and Ferrari are the teams that are most interested in us, which is good. If Ferrari is in the top 3, then they might offer us a contract on the Silverstone contract event. We'll see. But it's good if they like us, and yeah, that's been also the career score. So yeah, guys, that's really been this episode for today. We're gonna look at the R&D tree. We don't have 1,000 points. We just we narrowly missed the 1,000 points mark, so we won't be able to make a performance upgrade for the next race, which is unfortunate. I thought we could do a good chassis upgrade, but I am gonna purchase a Gearbox durability upgrade, because why not? I mean, Gearbox is one of the parts that is, we have to use it for 6 consecutive events. It's not like the engine you can change at any time, even though you get engine penalties if you use too much engines. You don't have to necessarily use it at a consecutive event, so that's why I thought just do it. I mean, I lose nothing. So yeah, I decided to purchase this Gearbox durability upgrade, and yeah, that's really been for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, then please do hit the like button, comment down below your thoughts of it, share the video if not too much at all to you, subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.